What's going on, everybody out there in the YouTube world, comic community, and everywhere else far and in between? You are here with myself and Mike.
Hey, guys.
I'm your Dark Avenger, and you are here once again for another episode of the Dark Avenger comic book review in its new format. We actually have our new tablet.
Yep. Bigger than the iPod Touch right here.
So we're going to have pictures looking. I mean, you could go ahead and show a picture real quick because I'm going to throw my honorable mention right now. Rose, issue number 7. I have not finished reading it yet, but this is the issue, and I've been loving Meredith Finch's run on Rose, and maybe it'll make my top 5 tomorrow. We'll never know, but that is Rose issue number 7. Oops. Really enjoying Rose from Image. I would definitely recommend checking it out. I believe the first trade paperback should be coming out soon.
Yeah. Wait, is it issue?
What's up, Tevia? So, by the way, now that we talked about Rose, before we get into any deep conversation about anything, when were these books released, Michael?
Yes, they were released on January 10, 2018. And
yeah, you can hit full screen now on that.
Which one?
There's I'm showing Michael something I should have done a while ago. View. You click view. Click view. Clicking view.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. And it doesn't go automatically. Oh, all right.
You'll just have to go back every time to switch to
the next book. Well, the book that I'm going to be doing now is the WWE Royal Rumble 2018 special number 1.
Wait a minute. I don't know who to watch. You or Eagle. Well, you know, I saw Eagle was live on Facebook as I was checking my post, Alan. I know he's live, and I know I've always promoted Road Dog Therapy. Everybody should be checking Road Dog Therapy out if you enjoy truck driving and talking. That's Road Dog Therapy, and it is live on Facebook whenever Eagle gets a chance to. But it is Monday, and like Brant's Monday Musing, that is every single Monday. There is the Dark Avenger comic book review every single Monday, so we all make sacrifices in order to skip that one. Actually, you know what? I will mention that came out anyway.
All right. So, but go ahead.
As I was saying, I am trying to keep this show on a I am trying to keep the show on a Monday basis, so that is why we are working our butts off to make sure to give you guys this review each and every Monday. So, what's up, Justin? How are you doing, my friend? Welcome to the show. Royal Rumble comic. Hey, Alan, You know what? It was very, very good. I read it. I really liked it.
Yeah, the Royal Rumble comic book. Like, it had, like, all the classic, what?
Oh, is this the thing that's blinking? I see a blinking light.
Oh, so the first story I really liked was the Ric Flair story. You know, how he talked about how he won his first title belt.
Nah, I didn't enjoy that one.
Yeah, like, it was kind of like...
No. I have a favorite.
Which let me guess. It was the Ultimate Warrior match.
That was funny, but not my favorite.
The New Day. No, not the New Day. Oh, what was the other story? I'm trying to remember. Wait a minute. Oh, AJ Styles. Yeah, that one. John Cena was a jerk to him, though, like saying, I know how you boys play in the South.
Oh, that's John Cena.
He was just like being nice to him.
Jesse's in the comments. What is up, Jess? And you know what's funny? We're going to talk about it in this review because it is part of the review. But I love how in Justice League, Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, they were comparing themselves to the Four Horsemen, and they were all debating who's Ric Flair.
Oh, that was...
I thought that... You didn't read Green Lantern.
No, but I'm just, like, saying the Four Horsemen, like, really?
I was dying when all of them were fighting, so I guess I'm Ric Flair. No, and then Kyle's like, oh, I have great hair, so I should be Ric Flair. I'm like, what? But that's why I like Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. I mean, let's be fair. It is the best Green Lantern book there is right now, so, yeah.
But I really liked the Royal Rumble book. Had all the 4 stories in there, and the Royal Rumble is just around the corner, 2 weeks from Sunday. And
you know, I was stupid last night. I got a notification, Royal Rumble 2017. My mind is still in that it's 2017. So I'm like, ooh, the pay-per-view must have happened because it was Sunday night. It was 3 in the morning, going on Monday. I'm like, oh, I guess I missed the pay-per-view. So I started watching it, and I'm looking, and I'm watching. I'm like, huh. I thought this person didn't wrestle anymore. It turns out it was last year's Royal Rumble because I remembered when Randy Orton came out and so did a few other characters in their old attire. I was like, oh, That was last year's Royal Rumble where Randy Orton won.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out who wins this year.
I thought it was familiar, at least. Yeah. I was like, when did Chris Jericho come back? Oh, man.
All right, so
another.
We got to get into these.
Oh, yes, we do. We have our physical books this week, everybody. So, like I said, we'll break the rules when we have the rules to break. You go right ahead with that one because I did not have a chance to finish it.
So, Rocko's Modern Life, issue number 2. I mean, this book, it brings nostalgia moment to its best. Like, you have...
I'm going to grab my coffee while you're talking.
Yeah, you have, like, Death Note or whatever. I can't remember what this guy's name is. The one with the cloak over his head. Like, he's, like, saying, you know, fate awaits for you. And I like how it says... I'll show you artwork, too. Also, welcome to heck. Because they couldn't say hell because it was a children's show and everything. So, he's like saying that he must endure employee orientation because he still has to look for a job. And we have like, I mean, everything was just like crazy. And I could hear their voices like in my head of how each, you know, how the characters sound. And yeah, like it was just really an awesome book. I mean, there was a lot of words, a lot of dialogue, but Chalmers is the guy who moved in with him from the last issue. So he's just like getting like really mad at him and just wants to like kick him out because he's just not doing the right thing. And then we got another one where Rocko in a costume catastrophe where the artwork did change a little bit, but it's like a costume contest that's going on. And like I'll show you guys some artwork, how it changed a little bit. But yeah. I would say this is definitely, I mean, if you grew up with
Hey, don't lull Rocko. It is one of my top 3 favorite Nickelodeon shows. Rocko, I always look over because I have the DVD sets and I'm so happy I do. Rocko, Our Real Monsters, and the Angry Beavers. You can't beat that triple threat combination.
But if you guys grew up with Rocko and seen the show,
you had a good life.
And had a good life.
And you had a soul, because Kat has no soul. She probably doesn't even know. You should put that in your top 5 tomorrow.
That wasn't Rocko. That was
No, I know what that was. That was the Animaniacs. I'm saying.
Animaniacs.
But if you put that in your top 5 and Kat's like, I never watched that show, it sucks.
I am. Actually.
Oh, good. This is going to be a very interesting top 5 tomorrow for Frontline.
Oh, here you go.
By the way, I got my first coffee of the new year from Dunkin' Donuts. $3.25 for an extra large coffee. Yeah, you buy 2 extra large coffees, you might as well just go buy yourself some rounds and make your own coffee. So I'm going to be making my own coffee very soon. Anybody want to buy some Dark Avenger coffee? I love how I'm saying it, Brooklyn.
We are
coffee.
Brooklyn.
Coffee. It's coffee. I have Angry Beavers and Hey Arnold. I want Hey Arnold. I want the Nickelodeon Doug. Because I watched those also.
I thought you didn't want Doug.
The Nickelodeon Doug.
Yeah, Nickelodeon Doug.
Yeah, I'll take Nickelodeon Doug. Oh. Disney screwed up Doug really badly.
Well, I wasn't talking about Disney. There's only one Nickelodeon.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 78. We finally find Casey again. Casey, he's alive. He's well. He's doing great, apparently. So the invasion's still happening. Bishop is trying to get the government to fund him. And you got Casey in Brooklyn defending the streets with the Purple Dragons. You even get to see April's parents a little bit. And I like how the mother's more of a reporter. Now, if you guys remember the old 80s cartoon, April was the reporter. The mother is actually the one that recorded the entire ordeal between Casey and the Triceratons and put it on the internet. So it's kind of funny that the mother is taking over April's original role because she was a reporter in the original story. Also, Hun apparently is working with Casey, but Hun is not the evil person he used to be. Really great stuff. But then you got the Turtles who want to talk with their father, and what happens is Splinter puts them on house arrest. They're not allowed to leave the compound until this entire war is over because Splinter doesn't want to see his sons die getting in the middle of this war, which you know the Turtles are going to escape. You know they are. And, of course, Splinter doesn't want to listen to his kids. He believes that the Triceratons are evil and need to be stopped. I'll be happy when Splinter is no longer part of the foot fetish, so to speak. Who can forget the 80s cartoon, the godfather of all turtle shows? Yeah, that's right. And will never be taken from us who grew up with it in our hearts forever. I agree. Except Kat. She probably never watched a single episode and doesn't like it. No soul. When did Casey become the leader of the Purple Dragons? When did he become the leader of the Purple Dragons? I think it was issue 50. When Splinter took over with the Foot Clan Tevye, Casey took his father's role because they beat Hun and the Purple Dragons, and Casey kind of took the Purple Dragons, made them good, kind of, but now they're working with the Foot, so they're good but working with the Foot, if that makes any sense. And Casey's leading them, but he's the good guy, so the Purple Dragons are good. It's hard to explain, but it happened during the whole ordeal where Splinter took over the Foot Clan, Casey took over the Purple Dragons, and now is teaming with the Foot Clan to keep Brooklyn, or to keep New York safe. Cat lives in a different universe, like Earth 2 or something. Alan, you can't hate the old cartoon, so I agree. So now I'm going to throw out another honorable mention, and that's because this is an event. I didn't read it fully yet. I honestly skimmed it. I really did. I might read it for tomorrow's show.
Feel to hold this thing.
I know, isn't it? I might read it for tomorrow's show, but I got to talk about it because it is an event, titles event from Marvel, and that's Avengers issue 675, No Surrender. This is a big crossover event for the Avengers titles in Marvel.
Wow, it's crystal clear too.
It's very clear. Now, I want to point something out. Now, I do have a physical copy of it, and I want to actually give Marvel props where props are due. The lenticular covers for the first 3 months were horrible. You all know this. I'm glad they took my advice, or maybe other people talked up, and instead of making it like change, it's literally just a 3D image. And not only that, but of course, because it's an event, they made it a double page. And I like that. This is the lenticular covers we should have gotten all throughout Marvel Legacy. I believe these covers were what we should have seen, what we should have felt. Look at them. This looks like a nice lenticular cover. When I used to go to the doctor when I was a kid, he had a room for Marvel superheroes. Our child, our child doctor made themed rooms. He had a superhero room, he had a Jungle Book room, but his Marvel room, he actually owned the entire collection of the original 90s cards. He made an entire wall of them, and then he had like these lenticular pictures like this. So I remember whenever I went into the Marvel room, I used to love it because I always used to try to find a new superhero. But anyway, it's We're Not Doing event. Yeah, it's the We're Not Doing exactly.
I knew that they were gonna do it.
Go back to Marvel Legacy #1. Look at the statue. Oh, he means you're talking about the statue at the end of the issue. Yeah, I know what he means. Yeah, so I haven't really read it yet, so I'm just gonna say that it's an event. It's the We're Not Doing events. But Jesse, they would argue with you that Axel Alonso stepped down, even though he was around when they were making these plans. So that promise was out the door when he walked out the door. So what we're going into next? Old Man Logan, issue number 33. Continuing with the Scarlet Samurai, also known as Moroku, Wolverine's old, dead, now alive again girlfriend. And of course, Logan won't kill her. Logan refuses to kill her. So now he finds out Silver Samurai is alive. Of course, Silver Samurai talks about Regen X and what he was doing with it and that it's not ready. And then Wolverine tells him, well, the shipment made it to Manipur, but they have to stop the hand so that they can get rid of the drug. The drug is not good. We got to get rid of it. So they team up and they fight the hand, and of course they win. Of course they win. But the story's not over yet, because now Wolverine and Moroku, because the deal was Silver Samurai could not kill Moroku. He had to save her. He had to not save her, but he couldn't kill her. Wolverine wants to save her. And Logan saves her. I shouldn't call him Wolverine. He's not Wolverine. Logan ends up saving her. And now, because the Silver Samurai has helped Logan and saved his girlfriend, the favor he wants in return is go to Manipur and destroy the rest of the Regenics. And it's a win for him all around. If they fail and they all die, they're dead. If they succeed, he'll never see them in Tokyo again. Either way, he wins. So, this story arc, man, I just get this feeling that once the Infinity thing happens with our Wolverine coming back, like the regular Wolverine, I do not see Old Man Logan lasting. I could be completely wrong, though. Don't quote me, but I see that the only reason people gravitated to Old Man Logan was because of the fact that we were missing Wolverine. Wolverine's back. There's no reason for a Logan right now. Then, so let's see. First of all, what's up, Nerdivision? How are you tonight? Love that Old Man Logan cover. It is a really cool cover. I will say that. Scarlet Samurai, Scarlet Spider. What's next? Hey, there was a Red Vulture. If you remember, Tevia, the Vulture that came after the original actually did wear crimson. Who would win, Foot Clan or the Hand? They both kind of are doing the same thing, Jesse. They both resurrect. It would be a toss-up. It would be a really good toss-up. But then again, the Foot has Shredder. And Gorgon's an idiot. So, but then again, the Foot Clan are a bunch. I think the Hand, because actually the Hand would, they have more capable fighters. The Foot Clan, they kind of just bring off people off the street, train them, and send them out. You only have Shredder. With the Hand, you've got the entirety of the Hand plus, other than Gorgon being an idiot. Yeah, you have the rest of them. So, and Justin agrees, the Hand. Look, the Hand is higher than the Foot, so I'll say the Hand. I have no clue. So, go ahead.
All right. The Punisher 220, Punisher War Machine Part 3. And this I reviewed on Comic Frontline.
I'm surprised we didn't get the physical book. That might be coming next week. This month, I think the first couple of weeks are going to be off for DCBS because of the holidays and everything. But yes, Mike did get a physical one.
So in this issue, Frank Castle's mission is to look for Pedro because he wants to, stop him from doing like all these wars that are going on. So in this issue, not only does he look for Pedro, but this boy tells him about these camps that the innocent people are being captive in. So he goes to these camps and he saves them. So when he finds out there's more than one camp, he goes to them to call Pedro out to him because that's how way maybe he'll call him out. So this person in an armor goes after the Punisher, and they have this huge battle with each other. But then when he takes him out, there's more of them that want to take him out, like saying either surrender now and go peacefully, and they're probably one of Nick Fury's men because Nick Fury wants his suit back, which is possible. And I just love how in the end, like we said, yeah, we killed Frank Castle. We killed the Punisher. And it can't be that because there's a next issue. Why do they say they killed someone when it looks like they're dead, but they're not? Because they're not dead.
That's the little cliffhanger, but not real cliffhanger. What is up? Hi,
dead.
It's Frank. What's going on, Frank? How are you today?
Yeah. But all in all, I really enjoyed the issue, and I can't wait to see the next part of how they're going to do the next issue for that.
Oh, man. Mr. Miracle, issue number 6 of 12. We are at the halfway point. This book is insane, and I'm still convinced that Mr. Miracle is trapped inside of a virtual reality, now especially, because Big Bart is pregnant, and that's why she didn't want him to die. And the fact that, don't you have that physically?
I don't think so, do I?
Or did we drop it? I don't know. But anyway, and it still feels like there are points where it turns, it's all fuzzy like a TV video. But anyway, I guess I was wrong. Okay. I love how they decide they're going to take the fight to Orion. So they end up going to New Genesis and they end up fighting their way to Orion. And what happens is, what's up, Spartan? They get to Orion and he's already dead. And that's where you start to see everything getting really super fuzzy and you see Darkseid. And it's like, yeah, Mr. Miracle is trapped. I really think he's trapped in a machine. I really do. I think he has to escape it.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
It was really good. If you're not reading Mr. Miracle, the first trade should be out after the 6th issue that is out now. Check it out.
All right, Justice League of America, issue number 22, Deadly Fable, part 1. So in this one, this is more of a focal point on Killer Frost, or Frost, who is now herself again. And the thing is that when she gets like something that's in her head, there's a some person that's like in her head that comes out, and I believe her name was Fable, I think, or something. And she causes havoc to the Justice League, and she just wants to kill them because she is the opposite of Frost, because she's like a real evil person. And I think that what she was trying to do is to really defeat them. And Batman's not even around anymore. I don't even know what happened to him, because he
did this with the Outsiders as well. Remember? Oh, you don't remember it. Everybody else remembers Batman and the Outsiders. He ended up leaving, and it became just the Outsiders.
Yeah, but in this issue, though, like there was lots of stuff that was going on, and it was like, oh, I'm trying to turn it off. Thank you. All right, so I mean, the issue was an okay issue. I mean, I did like how they introduced a new villain, and the Ray actually comes back after he had his fallout with someone. So yeah, I gotta admit though, this was a pretty good issue. Definitely gonna look forward to seeing what happens in next issue, as well as Frost, if she's gonna go back to being her original self, or she's just gonna stay the way she is. She's probably gonna go back to her original self, because you know, a leopard never changes its stripes, and a spots, and a zebra never changes its stripes. I got that so confused.
Leopards have stripes now.
They have spots, I meant spots. Spots, dots, blots, and ink blots.
I'm talking with Brant. By the way, everybody, since I'm talking to Brant, I'm going to promote this for Brant. Since I'm talking to him, everybody say hi, Brant. Everybody say hi, Brant. You can't see what I'm talking about, but you can say hi, Brant. Everybody say hi, Brant. Hi, Brant. Okay. So Brant's official 1 year anniversary for Monday Musings was today.
Oh.
And I think that's awesome. So everybody definitely go check out Brant's channel for Monday Musings. I'm actually going to say everyone says hi.
We are using technology.
I just promoted, I'll read it out loud, Monday Musings on my live comic review.
He's probably watching now.
He probably is. But yes, definitely go check it out, and leave a comment. Next week, episode 53. Fun stuff I think is going to happen.
Now we went from digitals now to physicals.
Yeah, now we're just going to, I mean, normally we do all digital, but we got our books on time, and a lot of our books are physical. So if we want to talk about a book, we want to have it here. And also we're getting used to the pad.
Tablet.
The tablet. Once we get used to the tablet, we won't even need the books. We'll only have the books on the side if we want to show artwork or anything. But X-Men Gold Annual #1, the 30th Excalibur. I don't know if that's just... It's Excalibur. It's a reunion with Excalibur. I've never read Excalibur, but this was a really, really, really fun read. And I thought Captain Britain didn't have a beard. I guess he grew one. But I enjoyed this. I like the villain in this book. I like the moments in this book. I like Kitty. There was some really great writing going on. Great action. Great story. Again, it's a standalone story, so it's up to you if you want to read it or not. It's an Excalibur heavy book. Personally, I enjoyed it a lot. So, wait a minute. I didn't... Oh, yeah, I did. There's a secondary story in here that I did not read, and I didn't even realize it was a secondary story. That makes me feel smart now. So after Excalibur, there's a secondary story that I apparently thought was a preview, but it wasn't. But it involves Storm. So there's a secondary story in here as well. So it's not all Excalibur, but I really enjoyed this book. It was a lot of fun. Definitely, if you're an Excalibur fan, you'll want to read this book. X-Men Blue issue 19. Oh, big surprise. So when they went back in time with Beast using magic, and now they went back in time this time, it turns out that the X-Men, the original X-Men, are not the original X-Men. They're somebody else in disguise. So you got our past X-Men fighting Magneto, and they realize something's wrong. They end up teaming up with Magneto and actually showing Magneto a glimpse of the future.
Don't tell me that they're doing that whole future thing again.
See, this is what makes me laugh, though. Jean's like, you know what? We're not good being here because now we know too much about the future, and that makes us dangerous for for our present, which is really the past. This is so confusing because there's so much time travel logic here. But basically, because these X-Men know about the future already, it's no good for them to be in the past because they know what's coming, and they could use that to their advantage. But they want to stop whoever these other X-Men are. And lo and behold, surprise, surprise, it was the future X-Men that were pretending to be the past X-Men. And now it's going to be up to our X-Men teaming up with the evil Magneto from back in the day to stop them. I could totally... I don't know how I feel about X-Men Blue. I feel like if any of the X-Men books are going to go, it's this. Because this book is so confusing. Are the X-Men going to stay in their time, or are they coming back to the present? And if they come back to the present, what does that mean for the past? And we also find out that Charles Xavier in the past is being forced to be a vegetable because he's stuck in the Cerebro thing. The Cerebro machine.
Yeah. Next book.
I don't know how much more of X-Men Blue I could take. I mean, if you want to talk about time travel headaches, explaining that book was a headache. Why do they need to battle? I don't know, Tevia. I don't know. All right. Venom 160, the penultimate issue for Venom Inc. And the cover says it all. It's Venom, Spider-Man, Anti-Venom, Flash, Black Cat, and Abby versus, and I love the artwork here, versus Lee and all of his zombie mania clones or influence, the mania on their face controlling them. His mentally controlled, his minions. And basically, one by one, they're freeing everybody using the anti-venom. And then let's just put it this way. By the end of the book, Lee realizes that it's best. Also, I do love this one scene where Venom's about to be... okay, Jesse, no worries. Where Venom's about to be hit by the anti-venom and Spider-Man saves him. And his first thing he says is, if you tell anybody I saved you, I'll lie. And Lee figures out, you know what? Maybe it's best I was always... it was just me and not me mentally controlling people. So now it's going to be the fully powerful Mania versus Venom and his people. And we'll see if Abby actually gets her symbiote back. Hopefully they just kill Lee and that's the end of Lee because I can't stand Lee.
Now, I don't know whether to make this my least favorite or my top because I'm really going to debate about this. I'm talking about Phoenix Resurrection issue number 3.
I really regret getting these covers. It's a connecting cover, but I don't like, maybe you do, but I don't really care for the art on the cover.
Yeah, because what I'm reading is almost the same thing. I mean, we talked about how the cerebral thing that happened now with Cable, and that this was their information to find about the Phoenix. And it just starts off where it's Jean Grey, how she's always seeing about the Phoenix. Then it goes to the X-Men where they're saying, how are we going to find out more about the Phoenix and more stuff about it? So who do they go to find out more about this information? Well, they go to Emma Frost. That's where I cringe. Because Emma Frost is like saying, oh, I don't know where the Phoenix thing is now and everything. And I don't know what you're talking about with all that stuff. But they're saying Jean's in New Mexico. And how does she know? Because you got to think like her, she says. And I'm like, ooh, I want to say more, but I can't. Because I hate Emma Frost. That's my opinion. But anyway. So then it goes to Jean where she's, where she actually sees herself as the Phoenix. Great artwork, by the way. I forgot to mention.
Is that young Jean or old Jean?
No, this is old Jean. This is where she turned into...
Where's young Jean? Dead?
Young Jean is dead. We've already established it. Young Jean is dead.
Like dead, okay.
Yeah, just dead.
Look, in comic books, dead might not be dead. What is up, Bobby?
So, since the X-Men were leaving, they find this portal.
Bobby, I'm sorry to cut you off. I really just want to say this real quick. Bobby, you're a week late. I already reviewed Gambit and Rogue issue #1. You could go check out last Monday's episode. I did cover that. It actually did make my top 5. It was a very surprising and enjoyable book.
Yeah. So now they're gonna go through this doorway to actually find out what lurks beyond this door, and we don't know what it does because it's to be continued. And this is what I saw right here: the Phoenix Resurrection. It's not a weekly thing because it says it's gonna be in 2 weeks. And then after issue #5, it goes back to Jean Grey issue #11.
And then I think it's over. I think Jean's done.
Yeah, and I think after that, discover what happened. Probably. I don't know. But I don't know. I'm thinking about either making this my least because it's just the same thing we see in all the 3rd issue. Goes to her, the X-Men trying to find the Phoenix, and then Emma Frost, forget about it. I don't even want to get into Emma Frost because I'll get into a whole rant about her because I hate her guts and everything.
Runaways, issue #5. 5. I love the one scene in this book that they did on purpose because of the Hulu series. But Molly is suspect of her grandmother and tells her friend, Girth, that they have to run away. She doesn't trust her grandmother, and she says, she's the mother of my mother and father. My mother and father, her mother and father were adopted. And this is all connected to the pride. So, and also, Victor comes back. He finally admits to everybody that he was alive. So anyway, Molly and Girth come to a plan. Again, there's that awkward moment with Caroline and Nico. But Caroline has a girlfriend now. I still have yet to watch one episode of the Netflix series, but I love how they made sure to emphasize this, even though the comics didn't emphasize it half as much from hearsay as much as the Netflix series did. But anyway, Chase decides, we're going to go save Molly and Girth because Victor figured it out also. So they're going to save them. The grandmother ends up finding out they were going to escape and says, nope, I hate the pride. I want to destroy the pride and everything left with it. And you're not going anywhere. And that's where the Runaways all get together. And they're like, yeah, we're going to save our friends. Yeah. And so the Runaways found a way to get back together. And Molly's wonderful, happy life was really a lie. I feel bad because Molly was the only one that was freaking happy, damn it. Even Caroline, who said she was happy, wasn't happy. Molly was happy, and she wasn't happy in the end. I even bought some some trades for it. I even bought some trades for it.
Trades for what?
Oh, wait. You disappointed that New Mutants movie got pushed back 10 months? That sucks. I did not know that, Bobby. But that's and that's what you bought the trades for. Yeah, that sucks that New Mutants got pushed back, but hopefully that's a good thing. Maybe they needed the extra 10 months to put. Think of it this way, and this is how I think when it comes to movies and TV stuff, especially. If they pushed it back 10 months, they obviously have to film something or edit something else in or maybe out. The 10 months give them more time to record and edit and do stuff. So maybe, just maybe, they're putting something in that will make us all very happy. Or, see, I'm not a New Mutants fan, but Bobby, you are, because you just said you bought the trade. You were excited for the movie. Maybe, just maybe, and I'm only maybeing this because it's a maybe, they're putting something in the movie that's going to make it spectacular. Think of it that way. I know it's 2 months shy of a whole year more before you get to see New Mutants, but think of it this way. It could be a really good thing that they're adding in or something big they wanted to add in, and that's why they pushed it back. Yes, since that 52-mil Disney deal, I'm expecting them to mix in. That's another thing. That's right. They had that deal now with Fox. You never know. They might actually be doing this to kind of put it into the Marvel universe more a bit. Maybe they have more abilities to put other characters, to name drop, to put other things in. And that's why they're doing it. Mm-hmm. So take the 10 months as we're making it better. They screened it. Apparently, it wasn't scary enough. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking maybe some MCU Easter eggs. Maybe. I don't know. I never thought New Mutants had to be scary. But okay. Now, you talked about your least favorite. I think that...
possible least favorite.
Oh, no. I think this is basically my least favorite.
Well, the cover says it too.
And I'm sorry, anyone who's a fan of this, but I actually did decide to move this digital, and I'm glad I did. I'm tired of Supergirl, man. Supergirl issue number 17. It's the same thing over and over. Bones is sending someone to fight Supergirl. They want to arrest Supergirl. They keep trying to arrest Supergirl, and they fail. And you've got I forgot what that woman was, what her name was. I'll show her picture. There's a prom that goes on, and then during the prom, there's an attack, and that's how the book ends. Either Kara has to give up her identity to save them, or here it is. Shay, and they were talking about Sarah, the one with the Superman blue costume who lost her memories, and they're trying to figure things out. And I'm not interested. I mean, the book started off with the agency, and I wanted Supergirl to break away from the agency so she can be Supergirl. I feel like right now, currently, Supergirl is anything but Supergirl. All it is Supergirl fighting against this agency that first she was fighting for because they got her powers back because she somehow lost them. And now, because I didn't read the new 52 Supergirl, so I have no idea how she lost them. But now they disbanded that agency, or new heads came in, and now instead of, that her owing them, now she's on the run or hiding from them, and she was turned basically Emerald Empress turned the entirety of the city she was protecting against her. So now the agency she was working for wants to capture her, and they're just throwing bad guy after bad guy, even changing their memories so far as to make them think that they hate Kara, and they don't. But it's just, no, this is too much. When Supergirl again, somebody in the comments let me know. I'll be digitally reading it, so you actually don't have to. I'll be keeping an eye on it, but I think I'm done talking Supergirl or dealing with Supergirl until Supergirl actually is Supergirl again. And I don't mind the parents, keep the parents, but get away from this DEO office thing. It's boring, and it seems like the entire series is surrounding that. Yeah, it's going to be horror subgenre. Okay, that makes sense. Matt Rosenberg, new miniseries will still be out on that time, though. Okay. Speaking of horror, that Supergirl cover is a Carrie movie. Yes, it is. It's from, for those of you that never saw Carrie, go check out the movie cover.
I thought it looked familiar.
It's Carrie, but instead of blood, it's kryptonite. It's liquid kryptonite.
Yeah, I thought it looked familiar.
I like that cover.
Somewhere.
Let's see. The trailer was scary. That's what got me hooked.
What trailer?
Bummer, because I like Supergirl. For New Mutant.
Oh.
So now's a sad moment, but I'm glad at least they knew when to say the end. And that's Superwoman issue number 18. This is the final issue for Superwoman. Midnight is now in Lana's mind. Now, because she's in Lana's brain, Lana is kind of like in a vegetative state for the moment at the beginning of the book. But we find out that Midnight is able to control Lana's body, but Lana's the only one that controls her brain, so she can talk. So with their combined, with their the combination of the two of them inside Lana's mind, they play Superwoman for a day. And Lana. And because Midnight is now part of Lana's body, she's learning new things like compassion and love, and willing to sacrifice herself to protect the people she cares about. And, she was so connected to Lena that she never felt any of this accomplishment or joy before. And the only way for her to be free, though, is for Lana to let her go. But in order to let her go, she has to also let go of her powers. Her powers are what will give Midnight the genesis out of Lana's body, and at the same time free Lana from Midnight. So Lana makes the ultimate sacrifice and gives up being Superwoman, and in the same moment frees Midnight. So that's the end of Superwoman. So Lana Lang is now just Lana Lang again, which is better than where they were going. I mean, there really was. It was literally went in a circle with Lena and everything. So I'm kind of glad they ended this series really, really well. I was very happy with the ending. I was very happy with the character development. I was very happy with how they did this. And I was not happy last issue, as a lot of you guys know, because I was tired of the midnight stuff. They did a really great job wrapping up Superwoman. I loved it. It's sad because I was hoping, because, you know, I did not like Supergirl. At least Superwoman was above that. So I'm kind of sad that this is going digital, and I'm probably not going to talk about it anymore. And this is basically done now. It's kind of sad, but what can you do? I'm going to miss Superwoman because that series was great. I do want to point out one thing. Don't forget Sharon Vance. I would like to point out Sharon Vance has all the Superman blue powers. She appeared back in the early 2000s. I would just like to point out, if Shay finds a way to save her, you do have the ability to have another Superwoman in the Superman blue genre type outfit, which I wouldn't be against, because I love the Superman blue energy. When Sharon first came on the scene, I was like, okay, at least we have the real Superman, and then we have somebody who's like Superman blue.
They should have gave her solar flare, Chris's favorite superpower. Just kidding, LOL.
Solar flare, give Kara solar flare and let her lose her powers permanent.
All right. Let's move on now. Red Hood and the Outlaws, issue number 18. So in this issue, though, we have the new character of the Hive Queen.
I would like to point out that the Hive Queen, Lana was originally the Hive Queen, and that's where the costume comes from. So it's cool that they brought Hive Queen back as Lana went out, because the Hive Queen had a lot to do with her power. Okay, keep going.
Yeah. So
Mike doesn't care, so I don't know why I'm talking about it.
I thought you were just telling them, but okay. So we see that Bizarro's actually
Hive Queen, that booty though. I mean, oh, you can't see it here.
Okay. So like there's this little thing that's saying that you can tell Artemis what you're up to, or I will, and everything. And then we have Bizarro, who goes after a Hive Queen to save Jason. And we get a little bit...
Brad says hi, everybody!
And we get a little bit of Jason Todd's story where he goes to Ma Gun's home, because he hated growing up in that place. So he gets a note that says, "My home is always open to you and your compadres. I've had to leave suddenly on family business, thinking of you, Faye." So with that, we have the Creeper, who actually comes into this book. And that actually has like a little talk with and fight scene with Artemis. And Bizarro like just says to her that he's actually
bought it for the cover.
That he's actually a guest and wanted to join the team. And they thought they were interested. And Jason Todd's like saying, "Oh, you should have came to us. What are you doing?" And he's just like saying, "No, you're right. I forgot to inform you of all that." So the little guy's like saying, "You better just come clean right now." And I think this is where Bizarro is going to either lose his mind or go back to normal, because now he's saying, "Me got this." So I'm like, uh-huh. And now in the next issue, the issue everyone but Jason and Artemis have been waiting for, a date night for Bizarro. This is going to turn out to be a dateline now with Red Hood and the Outlaws? I don't know. But it was an okay issue.
Brian Spaceboy 227, what's going on, my friend? Wasn't Hive Queen in that awful 52? Yes, she was. That's the point, Tevia. That's where Lana was messed with.
All right, let's go into your next book, because I'm
done with this Superman. Week. New Superman. Now, I have two problems. Two problems with this book. Number one, I guess it's a transition. So one real problem with this book. So this book spotlights Lanny Lane, or basically the Chinese version of Lois Lane. It's a day in the life of oh God, I forgot her name for the life of me. I cannot. Oh, now it explains it. I should have just read the little tiny writing at the beginning of the freaking book, because it says 6 weeks since the debut of New Superman.
Don't read those?
It was so small. I thought it was.
Yeah, but I always read.
But anyway, the Lois Lane of China, and it's a day in her life. She wants to get an interview with Superman, and then my problem was Superman or Keenan still had his old S, and that the fact that the title stayed the same, because it's supposed to say New Superman and the Justice League of China. But now it makes sense. This takes place before the ending of season 1, so this is more of a transition book, and you get a little bit of an insight on what's her name, Lainey Lan or whatever her name is. Why do they make these things so easy, so hard? Lainey. I'm gonna call her Lainey because that's what it is. And she gets an interview with Superman, and again, this is all happening pre last issue, so it explains why there's, the S didn't change, why it's not, title didn't change yet. So this is like one of those segue books, I guess, a one and done. It is a one and done story. So I'm more looking forward to next month's issue. Issue 19 was okay. It was all right, but I really don't care about the life of Lainey. Now, the Four Horsemen reference.
You almost did a broken
Hal Jordan.
Because I heard you go, yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just
heard that.
Yes. Delete.
We should delete the Punisher.
I'll delete you.
So, Hal Jordan and the Green Lanterns fighting the Controllers. They end up freeing the Guardians, and then the Guardians and the Four Lanterns beat the crap out of the Controllers. The Controllers escape, and of course, this is where the whole debate of who Ric Flair is out of the four of them, because they're the Four Horsemen. And Ganthet decides, you know what? Our time is limited, and everybody hates us and would be happy when we're dead. We need to leave a good legacy behind. So he reinstates everybody as the Guardians of the Galaxy. So they're going to lead the Green Lanterns again. Hooray! But then there's also the Controllers, and they're bringing back, are you ready for this? Because I've never heard of them, the Dark Stars. I want to make sure I said that right. So the Dark Stars are coming back. The Guardians of the Galaxy have taken their rightful place, leading the Green Lanterns again, fixing the dark legacy that they set all that millennia ago. Man, it definitely was filler, Jesse. He's talking about New Superman. This was fully filler and transition. So I didn't enjoy it as much, but man, this book was great. So everything's back to the way it was. I can't wait to see where Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps goes. Now, by the way, I don't know what kind of covers DCBS are sending with their books, but these are my favorite because they're kind of like a plasticky cover. And I love it. They're a little bit tinted, but at the same time, they're so soft and they do so well with comic books. I really like that. But Hal Jordan, man, this is one of my favorite issues. I will be surprised. I would tell you guys, be shocked if this is not somewhere in my top 5 tomorrow. In a fatal 4-way match. Titans issue 19, or should we just call it Titans on the what's the word I'm looking for? Titans laid off for the time. The Justice League are questioning the Titans and what they've done lately. And as a matter of fact, as of the end of this issue, the Teen Titans are ordered to stand down. Donna is being put under house arrest until they can figure out if Troya is the real Donna in the future. Nightwing is brought into question. His leadership is brought into question. And actually, it's Batman having a talk with Dick where Dick's like, we're going to stand down. We're going to stand down. We're going to let the Justice League decide whether we stay together or not. Even though, and I agree with the arguments here, that they never worked under the Justice League before. They did what they wanted, and the Justice League had no say whether they did it or not. But Roy, who was the one that was fighting all this, is actually still doing his superheroing, fighting his addiction and whatnot. And he ends up in a very precarious predicament by the end of this book. Also, Wally is put on possible full suspension because of his heart condition that happened due to that time travel that happened in the beginning of the book. So I really wish they'd undo this heart condition. I really don't like it. But the Justice League played the grumpy old parents in this book. I'm glad Superman didn't have too many lines. It was mostly Batman and Wonder Woman talking. But man, oh man, the Justice League came down hard on the Titans. I'm sure the Titans will get back together, Tevye. Give it an issue or two. They'll be back together. So we're in the home stretch here with my two of my favorite books. Batman Detective Comics issue number 972. Batman is fighting real hard to get Clayface back into common sense, and it's not working. He fights him all over Arkham. We find out that he knows, now he has Batman's training in his mind, so he ends up making a husk of himself and sends himself over to the Belfry to fight the rest of Batman's crew. Batman tells the new mayor of Gotham where he could stick it, which I was very happy about that. And now you've got the rest of Batman's team debating what they're going to do, with Clayface and everything. And also you see Batwoman, Kate, talking with her dad. Her dad gives her a gun that's able to basically kill Clayface, but he's like, you know what? You don't have to kill him. Just dismantle it, figure out how to fix it to where it'll only hurt him a little bit. And there you go. So her dad is hoping that this offer that Tim put out for the colony, at some point it'll work and Batman's team will work with the colony, which will never work out. Really great fight scene with the rest of them and Clayface, but I love how it's actually Cassie who reaches into Clayface and kind of gets Basil to come back out and come to his senses a little bit. However, he's done so much damage to the Belfry that a ton of clay ends up falling on top of him, and let's just say it looks like Monster Town all over again. Why? So now we're going to see if Batman could actually save Clayface, which I'm sure he probably won't be able to, because I think the next arc is all about his team disbanding, which I'm okay with because Detective Comics really... But then again, Tim is nowhere right now. Tim is kind of in limbo. Detective is the only book he's in, so I don't know. I was all for this strike team that Batman had, but it's going to be interesting. So the countdown continues. The countdown continues, everybody. 10 weeks. We're going to be getting Action 1000. But right now, it's Action Comics 995. And I love how it says Booster. The name of the series is Booster Shot. So what happens is, in the last issue, they were on Krypton. Booster wanted to go back to drop Superman off in the present. An Eradicator followed, hurt the Time Sphere, and they ended up back in Booster's time instead. Booster, well, after a fight with the Eradicator, Booster ends up getting arrested because he's a criminal. He stole the Time Sphere, and he stole, for those of you that don't know, Booster Gold actually was a criminal. He stole the suit, Skeet, and the Time Sphere in order to become a superhero in the past. So he's back where, like, a couple of weeks after he escaped his time, and now he's a wanted person. He's a wanted felon. Lois and John are actually off to where Lois's father is being held prisoner. Lois wants to save him. She doesn't know John is actually following right behind her. Superman ends up saving Booster Gold in a very heartfelt. He finds out. I love how Skeet. He thinks that Booster's a criminal. He's getting what he deserved, and then Skeet explains to Superman about Booster and what he went through, what his father did to him. That his father was an abusive father, and that. He did things to help his sick mother, and then, he's the time stream says that he's supposed to be Booster Gold anyway, so he's meant to be doing this. So in the end, Superman ends up saving him, and I love how he takes out Booster's dad, who's a selfish, he deserved death. But then they decide to, after a brief meeting with Booster's mom, time to go back home, Superman. Except the Eradicator, once again, the machine comes alive at the blink of an eye just to screw them up. So him and Booster Gold are now jumping into a world where Zod rules. So they're still stuck in the time stream, the multiverse somewhere. One thing I will say that kind of threw me off with this book was the art change. When this is trade paperbacked, we are only 3 issues in, and the artist is back to, I believe, Brett Booth, correct? Yes, it's Brett Booth now. It's a drastic change from the artwork we had in issue 994 and 993. So, again, I don't like when an artist switches. I like to have an artist on a full story arc before you switch. I guess they had to rush this out, especially because Action comes out every other week. I'm reviewing this now. Next Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, it'll be Superman, and then the following Wednesday again, we're going to be back in Action. So, back in Action. I love how I just did that.
Yeah,
but again, I can understand why you got to have a multiple artist team per story arc, but at the same time, the switch to I like Brett Booth's art. You all know that, but from the art we had to Brett Booth's art, it was a little jarring for the first couple of pages, but then I got used to it and I was fine. But it was a little jarring. And I like how I'm glad at least the cover art stuck. But I was a little jarred by Brett Booth's art. And there's still 5 issues left until we get to the finale, because 1000 is the finale to this arc. So apparently also rumor has it that Brian Michael Bendis is going to be doing a backup story in Action 1000. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing what his backup story is going to be. Yeah. So that's it for this week, everyone. That's all of our books. I don't even know how many books we had this week.
22.
22 long books. 2 reasons why the New Mutants movie got pushed. 10 months. 10 months. Because of reshoot, I told you. They didn't want to have it come out about the same time as, and they didn't want it to come out at the same time as Deadpool 2 and Phoenix. That makes sense. Take notes, Marvel Comics. Art changes can take me out of the story. Exactly, Jesse. Thank God it didn't. But, I mean, if you remember the last issue and then you come in and the very first page you see, or I should say the second page you see is something like this, yeah, it threw me off for a little bit because I was used to the art that looked like Dan Jurgens' art. And then we come back to, like, that type of art. And it's like, I'm used to Brett Booth, but it literally just, in the middle of the story, boom. Listen, I'm going to tell you something, Bobby. I have nothing against any writer. Brian Michael Bendis delivered the best Ultimate Spider-Man story. And I really enjoyed his new Avengers run. Unfortunately, all of my new Avenger books were digital, and I lost them. I had a few physical new Avenger books, but I do like Brian Michael Bendis' writing. I did not like, whether it was Marvel or his own choice, I did not like the choices he made in the end of his Marvel career. And again, it was, I believe, more Marvel than Bendis, because even with Bendis gone now and Axel Alonso gone, Marvel's taking back a lot of what they did, a lot of that forced diversity. I don't think Bendis will do that in DC, because DC is not about forced diversity. They're about their stories. Even Dan Slott, I have nothing against Dan Slott. I think Marvel kept him on Spider-Man too long. And remember, Amazing Spider-Man has those boundaries where Pete cannot date Mary Jane. They cannot even discuss about Pete and Mary Jane anymore. So at the same time, I say it's more Marvel than it's the writers. So I don't really blame the writers. I blame more the guidelines that Marvel left for their writers. So I hope the next book Dan Slott gets on, it'll be one that has less restrictions. I feel like Amazing gave him too many restrictions. And with Bendis, they literally only wanted him on books that he originally created, like Jessica Jones or something, and also Spider-Man. And they had him on so many books all at once. You got to understand, as a writer, I think I could only hold 2 or 3 books at most at a time. Now, you got to understand, Bendis was writing 5 and 6 books a month. This time around, DC's not going to be dumb. They're going to give him 1 or 2 books at most, and that's it. I think we're going to get the best work out of Bendis that we've seen in a very long time because of that. We'll see. But anyway, Action Comics was really good this week. Miles Morales I agree, he did a little bit. We need Mary. Well, you never know, Tevya. There's talk that the last arc for Dan Slott might involve Mephisto. And we have Damnation with Mephisto. They keep hinting it. Eventually it's going to happen, right? I mean, eventually it has to happen. But yeah. So if we missed any books that you guys read that you'd like to discuss, as always, you're welcome to talk about them. You're welcome to make recommendations as well. I've gotten a ton of recommendations. Unfortunately, time is not a recommendation of mine right now, but I will look into them. But that concludes this week's Dark Avenger comic book review. We did it in a little over an hour. No, exactly an hour, because we went live at 10:30, 10:31. So before we go, let's talk a little bit about what's coming up. Like I said, Brandt's Monday Musing. The 1-year anniversary episode is live now. As I promised you guys, we are trying to get these reviews out to you guys on Monday at the cost of a few books that we didn't read yet, Avengers and Rose being 2 of mine. I probably wouldn't have gotten really deep into Avengers anyway. Like I said, I'm avoiding events from Marvel. Rose, I'm a little sad that I didn't get a chance to read, but it's a really good series and I recommend it. Great reviews. Thank you, Jesse. As always, tomorrow night is Frontline Live, Tuesday, on Comic Frontline's YouTube channel. Definitely check that out. As always, I'm going to mention I have a Twitch. I haven't gamed in a while, but I definitely want to do that at some point again. There's the donate button on the channel if you are ever inclined to donate towards the channel. All donations do go towards the channel, and we will thank you guys in advance, as always. And I want to thank Nerdivision. Nerdivision was our very first donation, and Nerdivision's actually in the comments now, so thank you again, Nerdivision, for your awesome donation. We really appreciate that. Again, donations are optional, not required. Anything that's donated to this channel gets us to what we're looking to get faster. If not, we'll still get there. It'll just take us a little bit more time. But the Dark Avenger podcast YouTube file, episode 10, the final episode for YouTube, will be recorded sometime this week. I was going to do it last night. I started getting my headache, and then I got such a bad headache today. I might do it tonight. I'm not sure yet. Starting next month, we will be back on SoundCloud for the Dark Avenger podcast. So, but it will still be on YouTube also. It will still be here. I will still be posting it on YouTube. It's just going to get renumbered again because it's going to be part of the podcasting. Oh, thank you, Nerdivision. I appreciate it, man. No pressure. And again, I appreciate what you've given so far. That is more than enough. Speaking of SoundCloud, we got Jesse in the comments, JLS Comics. Go check him out on SoundCloud. Every single episode of Comic Conversation he has up on SoundCloud every single week. And if you want to catch it live, it's every Thursday, I believe. Thursday. Jesse, correct me. I believe it's Thursday. I'm 95% sure it's Thursday at 9 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken. I always miss it because Thursdays I'm busy. So I catch it every now and again. I catch it. I saw you guys last week, and I was in the comments for a while last week. Really awesome live show again. I really enjoy watching Comic Conversation whenever I get the chance to watch. Definitely go check it out on Jesse's channel, which is JLS Comics. And everybody's channel, anyone who I mentioned here, check them out because there's lots of really great videos from everybody whom I've talked to or had commenting on this video. But 2017, man, it's 18, man, it's already become a really productive and happy, high-energy year for me. I'm really enjoying it. Thursday nights, 8:30 Eastern. Yes, and don't thank me for the shout-out, Jesse. You have an awesome show, and I definitely want to make sure to shout it out. It's a really fun show, and even if I miss it live, I always try to catch at least a good portion of it post-live. So don't thank me. Thank you for making a really great show. I enjoy it. And maybe, hopefully, if I'm ever free on a Thursday and I'm welcome on the show, I'll definitely pop by and say hey to everybody. And I'd love to be a part of it whenever I have the time, definitely. And again, as long as I'm welcome. But with that, that's it for this review, guys. As always, links are in the description below for all the things we're in: Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I'm going to be putting the SoundCloud, iTunes, and Stitcher link. Well, the SoundCloud and iTunes link back once we start up again. Till then, everything else is in the links. Discord. The Comic Frontline Discord is also in the link below. Same as Comic Frontline, Last Ember Press, 529. Don't forget Celestial Falcon, which Michael's head is covering, is on sale right now. Issue number 2 is in the works as we speak. You're always welcome. Thank you, Jesse. I'm honored that I'm always welcome, man. But issue 2 is on the way. Look forward to that. Look forward to more conversations. If you guys would like to ever have a conversation, let us know. We'll see what we're going to do. Unfortunately, like I said at the beginning of the year, Dark Avenger Live has been canceled because we just don't want to sit online saying, come on, guys, give us something to talk about. And that's kind of what was happening. But we always like having conversation. We always like doing that. We might have some guests on the Dark Avenger comic book review soon. We'll see. We'll see. If people have read their books by Monday, let us know. And we'll see if maybe we'll have some guests on while we're discussing the books that we've read. We'll see. But till then, take care, everybody, and we'll see you guys next week for another Dark Avenger comic book review. Stay tuned. You never know what else might pop up on this channel and over on Comic Frontline. This is also going to be posted on comicfrontline.com in about an hour once all the rendering's done. But being back in the game, yeah, it's good to be back in the game, that's for sure. I feel this is definitely a high energy year for me so far, and I'm loving it. So take care, everybody. Keep reading, keep collecting, as always, and we'll see you guys really soon in the next video.
Hey, everybody.
Take care and have a great night, everybody. Oh, wait. Before we go, thank you to everybody who was here live with us. Jesse, JLS Comics, Tevia. We had Justin here, Nerdivision, Bobby popped in. We had It's Frank that popped in for a bit.
Alan popped in.
Alan popped in at the very beginning. And
we said Justin.
We said Justin. Justin popped in at the beginning also. And also, by the way, guys, it's now your turn. Let us know what you thought about the books that came out this week. Likes, dislikes, agree, disagree, recommendations. We'd love to hear them all. And now we're done. Yeah. Take care. Have a great night, everybody. And we'll see you guys next week for another episode of the Dark Avenger Comic Book Review.
Bye, everybody.